Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Monday, March 25th, 2019. One of the top headlines this morning is Father of a Sandy Hook victim dies from an apparent suicide. Just yesterday, one of the top stories was second Stoneman Douglas student dies from an apparent suicide. And on Friday, one of the top headlines was another Stoneman Douglas student reportedly died from an apparent suicide. So from Friday to Monday, we get three stories of people impacted by school shootings committing suicide. And as I've educated about for years, if it's in the mainstream media, it's propaganda and it's very redundant, and they like to hit us with themed stories, one on top of the next, to pound home the programming. When you turn on the TV and they say back to your regularly scheduled programming, you need to think about that wording. Media is propaganda and programming, period. For years, I've been educating about the parallels between these two incidents. Parallels you can really only truly understand by knowing the language that the elites speak in. And that's the language of letters and numbers, which comes from Kabbalah. If you've heard the term the Cabal, meaning the secret political faction, that term comes from Kabbalah. And in Kabbalah, there's a belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number with the word. The people who control the media play God over the masses every single day using this code. So, again, Stoneman Douglas High School and Sandy Hook Elementary School, where these three suicides are now connected to, have perfect overlap in this code of letters and numbers. And the number that really matters is 113. Again, what is 113? It's a number that comes from the Talmud, where it says Jews may use lies to circumvent non-Jews. And to be fair, a Jewish person will tell you this is only true in a legal setting. But also, to be fair, you must remember that the entire world that you live in is now a legal setting. So, Baba Kamal 113A has everything to do with lies. See the video I put out last week about Haaretz saying the protocols of Zion are a lie of 113 years? Anyhow, a lot of words that have to do with lying are 113, including the mainstream, which is nothing but lies. Mainstream 113, dishonest, perverted, not true, not honest, not factual, disinfo, politics, perjury, fiction, bullshit, infidelity, divorce, and the list goes on. You know, there's even more. It's a number of deception. Adam Lanza was born April 22nd, 1992, a leap year. Adam Lanza, the Sandy Hook shooter, was supposedly born on the 113th day of the year. The guy whose photo couldn't look any more photoshopped. Remember, they said when they went to Adam Lanza's body, it had his brother's ID on it? Why would that be? Is there even really an Adam Lanza? So here's the other piece. You have to know who is using this code. Freemasonry is invested in Kabbalah. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is headquartered in Washington, D.C. This is a federal agenda to disarm the population, to take away the rights from the population, to keep the people living in fear, thinking they need Big Brother. Freemasonry and government might as well be synonymous. The U.S. government is controlled by the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Scottish is 113. That's why Washington, D.C. is named after the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason George Washington, the first recognized U.S. president, even though he's not even really the first U.S. president. You know, they say the victors write the history books. We're living in a world of false information that's been contrived for centuries by this same gang, and all done by this same code. So Scottish 113. And think about this third story coming today, March 25th, a date that can be written 3/25 as we write it in the U.S. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry 325. Masonry has that Gematria of 84. So does United States of America. Today, March 25th, 19, the day of the third suicide story. It's a date with 47 numerology. And as I write that, I realize that there's another word that I should have added to this list, and that is suicide itself. Suicide has Gematria 47. Suicide. And just in case you're new here, I'm just going to go back real quick. There's 4 base ciphers you want to know. The alphabetic order with numerology, the reverse alphabetic order. Yesterday, the second Stoneman Douglas suicide was 1 month, 1 year, and 9 days after the Stoneman Douglas shooting. Suppose that suicide happened March 23rd. The school shooting was February 14th. 1 year, 1 month, 9 days. And now you get this third suicide on the date with 47 numerology. But anyhow, 47, very important to Freemasonry. It's the number of degrees on their compass. It symbolizes the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation. The word foundation is 47. If you've never seen my work on DC and 47, please look it up or just read my book. All the knowledge that you need about this code is in my book. It's only $5. The book's nearly 800 pages long. You will not be disappointed. But anyhow, check this out. The name of the father who supposedly committed suicide, his name's Jeremy Richmond. Jeremy Richmond. You see how they say he's 49 years old? Look at Scottish. Scottish. Just talked about the 113 value, 49 as well. But with regards to his name, Jeremy Richmond, it equals 142, just like Parkland, Florida. And the last 2 suicides were Stoneman Douglas related, the school in Parkland, Florida. And as we pointed out the day of the shooting, how strange. The shooting was on 14/2, the 14th day of the second month. Keep in mind, the Parkland, Florida students just went to New Zealand to comfort the victims of the mosque shooting, which was on a date which I called out, in October. I said, circle the Ides of March 15th for the next New World Order big incident. We got that from what they were programming in October. But they said that New Zealand shooting started at 1:42 p.m. local time. And if you missed my work on New Zealand, 142 was coded all over the incident. The word terrorist, for example, equals 142. That's why they say the 9/11 attacks lasted an hour and 42 minutes. And all of this stuff is terror. It's all about fear. And the original definition of terrorism is government by intimidation. So Jeremy Richmond, Parkland, Florida, these stories all interconnected. Just want you to notice that Jeremy Richmond, also 142 and 74. The New Zealand shooting was just on the 74th day of the year. This is a big signature number of the Masons. Notice Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, is 74 and 142. Notice English language is 142 and 74. All this propaganda is contrived by this code. Just using the alphabetic order, Gematria, English, Jewish, Masonic, occult, they're all 74. This knowledge is occult, meaning it's hidden. It's practiced within Masonry. It comes from Jewish mysticism, which is Kabbalah. It's encoded in English. And again, the practice of coding numbers into words is Gematria. So, a couple more things I want to point out here. Look at the image of the girl that supposedly died. Does anything look wrong with this image to you? The Sandy Hook school shooting was in the age of HD cameras. I mean, what kind of camera took that picture? You mean to tell me that's the only image that exists of this girl? And don't forget, a month ago, CNN had their headline story about how AI is generating lifelike people every day in media that aren't even real. Why do you think they ran that story? Just to mock you. Just to mock your existence. As for this man being a father, the father commits suicide. It reminds me of a number that's coded on a lot of these false flags as well, including the date of the Sandy Hook shooting, which was a date with 58 numerology. Sandy Hook was December 14th, 2012. Father equals 58, like Freemasonry, like Rosicrucian, like Secret Society, also like Sandy Hook. That was the number coded into the shooter James Egan Holmes at the Batman movie premiere. Remember, for the Batman movie, they changed the neighborhood that was always known as South Hinckley to Sandy Hook. You had the Batman shooting, and then you had the Sandy Hook shooting. And earlier in 2012, on February 27th, prior to Sandy Hook, which is the 58th day of the year, you had a mass shooting at a school as well. February 27th, 2012. Now, I realized there was one name that I overlooked, so let's just do this in real time. I haven't decoded the little girl's name. AVL Richmond. AVL. A-V-I-E-L-L-E. Let's see. I see a 42. Big Freemason number. Aviel Richmond. All right. Just compare that with the last name. The Richmond's got a 42. Wow. Look at the overlap between the first and last name. 66, 123, 42. Freemason 42. Conspiracy 123. 66, the 11th triangular number, the master number. I'd have to think more about why. Let's see. Aviel Richmond, 84, and the news comes on the 84th day of the year, March 25th. See how they do this? You see how they do it? You know, my critics, they'll always say, oh, you must spend all day just trying to put this together. No, look at my blog. Thousands and thousands of posts. I do this stuff in an instant because it's just so repetitive. It's so easy to see through when you know the code. I'm noticing March 25th, the day leaving 281 days left in the year. Please go back and watch the video I did on March 22nd about the Robert Mueller report coming out and the number 281. It's a number related to Yale Skull and Bones, and the reason I bring that up is because Sandy Hook is just down the road from Yale Skull and Bones. So 281 is a Skull and Bones number. And you know what? Just real quick, I can just do this and we'll wrap it up. This should pull it up right here. Let me see if I got the information here. Let me see what the best way to pull this up is real quick. Give me one moment. Here we go. It's probably right here. Okay, so Skull and Bones in 281. George Herbert Walker Bush just died in the 281 area code. And by the way, I said he wouldn't make it past November of 2018. By understanding this knowledge, ritual murder is very much a part of this code. H.W. Bush went out by the code. He died 3 months and 22 days before March 22nd, 322. The day Jimmy Carter became the oldest living president, just showing you how perfectly coordinated and planned the agenda we're living out is. But H.W. died in Houston, the 281 area code. His father, Prescott Bush, who was a member of Yale and Skull and Bones just like him, died on October 8th, the 281st day of the year. And the founder of Yale Skull and Bones, William Huntington Russell, which is also what Yale Skull and Bones Trust is named after, or who it's named after, he died on his 281st day of his age. Now, 281 is the 60th prime number, and skull equals 60, what's on their symbol. It also has other standout numbers. Order equals 60, the order of Skull and Bones. And there's actually a lot of overlap there with order and skull, 60, 33, 75, 33, 60, 75. But 281, the 60th prime. So, just understand, you learn the code, you learn the 4-base ciphers, you see how propaganda is contrived every day. It should leave no doubt that all of this information has been contrived over the years. All of it. Exactly what I honestly already knew before I even knew this code, but I had trouble when I was younger getting people to see through the lies of the media, so I knew I had to figure out something greater. And due to hard work and research and paying attention, I knew numbers were important to these people. And it was actually right after Sandy Hook that I figured out the code they were working by. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were reporting that Adam Lanza weighed 112 pounds. If you could go back in time, you would notice everybody was bringing up that Adam Lanza weighed 112 pounds. USA Today, New York Times, NPR, every news source did. CNN, Newsweek, Psychology. I mean, just everyone did. Everywhere you turned, they were bringing up that Adam Lanza weighed 112 pounds. And it was driving me nuts. I was like, why does it matter that he weighs 112 pounds? And I was looking to 112, and I found out it was the alt dialing code for 911. I was actually working at a school when Sandy Hook happened, and parents were freaking out that day, coming in early to pick up their children. And keep in mind, I live in Washington State, about as far from Connecticut as you can be in the U.S. But parents were freaking out. And I said to one of my coworkers that day, I said, I haven't seen people freak out this bad since 9/11. But anyway, everyone said 112 pounds. And now remember, Adam Lanza is born on April 22nd. In a non-leap year, that is the 112th day of the year. And you know why they did this? Because Sandy Hook equals 112. And it was synced up with the Dune Blaine Massacre, which happened March 13th, 96. 3 plus 13 plus 96 is 112. The Dune Blaine Massacre got gun rights taken away in the United Kingdom. Dune Blaine was the targeting of first graders. The Dune Blaine Massacre. Dune Blaine equals 73, like elementary school. The Dune Blaine Massacre was on March 13th, 96, the 73rd day of the year. That was a leap year. And look at the name Adam Lanza. So, anyway, we'll wrap it up there, Truth Seeker. Please help share this work. I don't know why no one else in the truth community will touch this material. You know, I put out more videos than anyone in the truth community in the last 5+ years. You know, no one's had a more undeniable message, a worthy message, and you can get almost no one in the truth community to discuss this knowledge. It's tragic. Until next time, Truth Seeker.